Well, hello again. Today we're going to be looking at what's been happening around here this week. And I'll tell you what, it's been a busy week as we get things prepared and things worked on and some things finished up and some new things that's popped in. We're going to talk about all that. Primarily, it's planting time. Stick with me. You're going to have some fun today. I've got the tomato trellises installed. Looking pretty good down through there, if you do say so myself. Nothing's planted in this part of the garden as of yet. I'm waiting on the new moon to arrive on the 15th, and from that point to the May 1st will be the rising of the moon, and I always plant on the rising of the moon. Old folklore, call it what you will, but it holds true for me. But anyway, starting around the 15th or so, I'll start putting some seeds in the ground since I direct seed everything. Well, in honor of Happy Farmer's Day or Happy Gardening Day, I had to break out the old straw hat. It's 85 degrees out here today, and so I'm out here and we're going to plant our first seeds in the garden, and that's going to be some Silver Queen sweet corn. And I'm going to plant it. It'll just be right on the other side of that trellis over there. And I've got 2 beds, and I'm going to plant half of each bed today. About 2 weeks, I'll plant the other half of those same 2 beds. Again, same crop. So here we go. I'm going to go over there and get down on my hands and knees and crawl down through there on these hot tarps on this hot day. And we're going to plant some corn seeds. Alrighty, as we get ready to plant this corn, I've got a big old bowl. This makes it easy to pick them out of there. I've got me a little divot digger. I stick a hole down in the hole on the plastic that's there and plant it right in that hole. So here we go. Planting corn 2026. Okay, this half is done. Down that row, I'll come back in 2 weeks, plant this half. Now I'm just going to jump back over here to this bed behind me, right here, and do exactly the same thing on that side. And the corn will be planted for this season, and we'll see how it goes. Whew, well, got that taken care of, and that was the biggie for this week, I guess, as far as what I've been working on. And but I moved over here in the shade, get out of that bright hot sunshine. But anyway, that was my planting of the first crop for this year, actually in the garden beds. So but here's some other stuff I've been working on. I want to share with you right quick and let you just take a quick look at some of those things. Here's what's been going on this week. Another thing I did this week, even though from here you can't tell a thing about it, this is a Spirea bed. All that area you see broken up there in the front, I've just, along with the black-eyed Susans I planted last month that are starting to come up, I've also just planted some zinnias back toward the bushes, and down here in the foreground I've planted some marigolds. So we'll see what happens. And then just over behind, between those 2 bushes, the one on the right and the one in the middle, I've got some cosmos, and between the one in the middle and the one on the left and behind them I've got some cosmos. So if all that comes up and blooms for the summer, we'll be in great shape. And the Spirea, I guess because we pruned them so hard last year, we got a couple of blooms, but that's about it. So, but next year they should be beautiful. Yeah, one day I got ambitious and actually went out and pruned down my hydrangea bush that was bouncing back from the winter, and cut all the dead limbs out of it, but also saw a lot of new growth and decided to go ahead and try to propagate some of the hydrangeas. So I've got 8 starts here, and we'll keep an eye on these as we go. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. I have a bunch of these, and I'm going to just show you on this one. Tomatoes. This is just a couple that I've planted from seed, and there's, you see, it's got the true leaves starting to come out on there. And I'm going to up pot these. I'll do one to show you what I'm talking about. But I have a little 4-inch pot, and I just kind of like pre-moistened the soil already. I didn't show me doing that, but I just fill that up. Make sure I get the air out of it as best I can. And we move this pan over here. And then what we'll do is just take a look at what I'm doing. And I just take of the 2 I've got, I think this is the better of the 2. This tall one right here. And what I'll do is just I put my soil, my potting mix in here, and just use a tongue depressor type popsicle stick, bigger thing than a tongue depressor. Like I said, you can buy them at just about any craft store. Make a hole down in the middle of my cup, and just go in here like this and lift out the seedling. And this has been watered, so it's nice and moist right now. But if you look very closely, you might be able to see some seeds or roots coming out of there. But anyway, I just take that and place it right in the middle of that hole. Press down gently. Don't want to break the stem or anything like that. And there you go. It's potted up. I'll set it in the greenhouse with the others I've already done, and we'll let it water it, fertilize it with fish emulsion, and I'm crossing my fingers that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, these things will be ready to go out into the garden. So I'm going to baby them for another week, see how they do, how big they get, how strong they get, and then we'll start hardening them off to get some of that flimsiness out of them, I hope. But anyway, that's what I've been doing this week, along with these other things I've been talking about. And here we go, my first attempt at starting from seed. So I got 5 pretty good looking tomato plants right there, seedlings, and we'll see how it goes and how it continues. All right, and that was my week this week. Yes, it was busy, and there's a few other things that was going on. I turned over my compost piles since I got that bin emptied out to the garden beds and the potatoes. So I turned all those leaves over in those 2 boxes over there. And then I've also done a little bit of work in a couple of flower beds around here and try to start maintaining some of that. And the biggest thing I had to happen this week is I hit a stump cutting the grass and bent one of my blades, so I had to take time to lift up the lawnmower and get under, raise it up, change the blades, and all that on top of doing all this what you just saw in the videos. So been a busy week, and but I appreciate each one of you sticking in here with me. And my name's Don, by the way, if I forgot to tell you. I get so busy with things, I do forget that. And I appreciate each one of you being with me. And we're getting into the planting season. Today, or this video, was the first attempt at that. And next week, I'll be doing some more planting and some more seeds. And we'll keep adding to this garden that we've got over here. Just about every day, we'll be doing something. So as we're, like I said before, we're in a busy time of the year, and that's the way it's going to start being around here. But I appreciate you sticking with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself.